It's quite a remarkable birthday, and it's remarkable because the Prince William's tweet.
It was remarkable.
I've never seen anything like this. So I've spoken to his team and I said, why? Because normally the offices of the palaces will just put out a kind of mundane statement wishing, a member of the royal family a happy birthday. But this time, William's really gone for it, hasn't he? He's going to read the tweet out to you, react to it. He's written, "To the most incredible wife and mother, the strength you've shown over the last year has been remarkable. George, Charlotte, Louis and I are so proud of you. Happy birthday, Catherine. We love you, William."
Is that a tear I see in your eye, Matt? No, not possibly. I was really taken aback, but in a delightful way, by that tweet because, as you said, it's quite remarkable. I'm going to use a word that's been used so many times in the last 5 years across the board, but it felt quite unprecedented, particularly for a non-major birthday. It's a 43rd. Typically the royals are a little bit more low-key with their personal messages, and particularly William. And also it came with a brand new picture of Kate looking very relaxed at home. So I think it really, for me, when I read it and given the context of the last 12 months, we're just shy of the anniversary of her going to hospital for the abdominal surgery, which we all know then led to her cancer battle. I think that it read to me like a man who's feeling relieved and optimistic and happy about the future. And birthdays are such a time for reflection. We spoke about that just a few months ago on Harry's birthday for different reasons. But birthdays are a time of reflection. I think the pair of them will now be at a point where the future's looking a lot brighter than it did, around this time last year. And they'll be very excited to move forward with that. And I think that that's just, getting screamed out from that tweet.
Yeah, William feels like he's rewriting the rules. Now, we'll get on a little bit later about the Prince of Wales, the role that he actually has, but he seems to be rewriting his place in the royal family and the way he communicates, because only a few weeks ago we described his hardest year. Now he's actually writing this tweet. Do we welcome this kind of show of emotion? Because normally royals are seen as stuffy, emotionless, Victorian, Edwardian era. Do we welcome this openness?
On her 43rd birthday, Catherine, Princess of Wales, received a message more touching than any official fanfare. From Kensington Palace to the world, Prince William shared a rare, deeply personal tribute to the woman he calls the most incredible wife and mother. In a post that stunned royal watchers and charmed the public, Prince William, age 42, spoke directly to the heart of the nation, honoring Kate's unwavering strength, her grace under pressure, and her role as the pillar of their family. This was more than royal protocol. It was love in its truest, most royal form. Coming after a year marked by personal health struggles, public scrutiny, and national concern, William's tribute carried weight beyond words. For a future queen consort who faced cancer with dignity and discretion, the post became a symbol of resilience, unity, and devotion under a very public spotlight.
Look, I've really loved seeing it. I think that people were so impacted just because, when Kate announced that she had cancer last March, people were impacted because, of course, they can see themselves or relatives or people they love in that journey. It's something that a lot of people can relate to. And the fact that we've seen such a human side of not just Kate, but of William throughout that time, I think has been really, I'm going to use the word helpful because I think it gives people that hope and inspiration and relatability. And being able to hear how he really felt about it. He was so honest at the end of last year saying it's been a brutal year. It's been a terrible time. Of course it has. It's felt honest and authentic that he was able to actually say that. But I do think it heralds quite a new era for him. I just don't think we've ever seen William anything like this before.
We've never seen any, sorry.
But it also, monarchy traditionally moves so slowly, right? And actually we're talking about a tweet and a sort of a resurgence of tweets from William, but it's a small step, but actually in the grand scheme of how slowly monarchy normally moves with the times, it does signify a change, even if on the face of it, it's a personal message which obviously taps into that great sort of sense of public affection that people have for Kate and everything she's been through over the past year, and perhaps more adaptive, more reactive, given the silence we'd had when all those rumours were running rife on the internet and allowed to continue for so long, actually showing that you can put a message out and cut straight through with that.
Well, yeah, there's been so many messages, there still are kind of posts online about the Princess of Wales. Maybe this is a tweet or a post online that we should remember. Ignore all the others as you're talking about some of the abusive ones that she's had. We try and remember this one. It's nice.
It felt like, and it felt like that direct connection with people that have been supporting them. It's, Kate has had a tough year. He's proud of her, and as many people are, I think. So it did feel like that direct connection.
Good. We did have a little bit of an update on the on what's going to happen to the Princess of Wales this year. There's a story in The Sun this week that we've written up. The Princess of Wales will continue a gradual return to public duty, so we will not see the same volume as we witnessed the Princess of Wales doing before her illness a year ago. So it will continue in the kind of vein of last year. She will not be, well, there's no foreign trips on the table, they tell me, but she will be seen up and down the country, hopefully in Wales.
Yeah.
Now, we've got you on, obviously, because, you know, Hugh, you've written a wonderful book about Charles. You called it Charles, the King and Wales, and it's about the fact that Charles was Prince of Wales, and it's a great book. I've read it, and there's so many little great nuggets in it.
Thank
But
you.
what do the people of Wales think about Kate? Do they have a special kind of a friendship, kind of link to her? Because she's not been in the role for very long.
No, and if anything, the sort of the polling that there has been, when you look sort of scientifically at it, it matches really in Wales what it does in the UK. Kate and William are both the most popular members of the royal family in Wales, as they are across the UK. You still say the words Princess of Wales, and so many people, you know, of a certain age and above, they think of Diana. You know, it's a title sort of indelibly linked with her in that sense. But for Kate to own it and to take it on, we've seen already, you know, the first steps with the visits that she has made. But also with William, the two of them lived in Wales when he was working on the RAF Alley and with the search and rescue helicopters. So even though Charles was Prince of Wales for so long, Williams lived there for longer than Charles ever did. So the sense of them being sort of connected to Wales was established with that, even if fine, they now live in sort of palatial surroundings and wouldn't exactly sort of slum it in a Welsh farmhouse for the rest of their lives.
We might get onto a little bit about what the current Prince and Princess of Wales are hoping to achieve, or what, as a Welshman, as a proud Welshman, what you hope the Prince and Princess of Wales will achieve in their titles. What do we hope for Kate, or Catherine, as I'm always told to call her from viewers of this show? What are we hoping for this year, based on that template of a gradual return and maybe seen up and down the country?
Well,
Social media lit up with support. Commenters praised the prince's authenticity, and royal insiders hinted that this kind of openness could mark a new tone for the monarchy. One where vulnerability isn't weakness, but connection. Princess Kate is more than a royal figure, she's become a symbol of modern womanhood within a centuries-old institution. Her quiet strength, commitment to causes like mental health and child development, and her grace under pressure, are redefining what it means to serve, both as a royal and as a mother. On her 43rd birthday, Kate wasn't just celebrated. She was honored, cherished, and admired by the man she walks beside in history. In the words of Prince William, happy birthday to the most incredible wife and mother. And in the eyes of a watching world, a queen in waiting has never looked more loved.
You've used the key words that we keep on hearing, which is gradual return. I think that they've been at pains, Kensington Palace and everyone else has been at pains to remind us that it is a gradual return. She's not someone who's just going to bounce back immediately into a full schedule of work. She also has 3 kids that she needs to factor in. And I think that what we saw in December feels to me like a bit of a blueprint of what is likely to come for the next 12 months, which is she's doing the work, she's showing up, she's doing it in a more gradual way than we saw previously. She took part of the Qatari royal visit. She took part in her annual Christmas carols concert. There'll be large events, I imagine, this year, like Trooping the Colour and other big marquee royal events of the year that she will be supporting the royal family with. And outside of that, I think she'll be focusing on projects like her early years work, because we know that she remained briefed on that for a large part of the year anyway, even while she was out of the public eye. So I think that that's what we can expect to see this year. But unfortunately, it's been taken off the table that she will be taking part in overseas visits. I know Australians will be very disappointed. Really love
You just
William
had the King and Queen down there. You'll
which
get
is
William and Kate
great.
soon.
William and Catherine, they're the rock stars. There's excitement when they go. But yeah, so I think that what we've seen over the last month or so is probably how it's all going to look over the next 12 months, and as it should. It's been a really harrowing year for her. She's on the mend. But as anyone would in her shoes, she needs that space to have a gradual return to work.
It's good you mentioned the early years projects. We're told that's her the thread throughout the year. Everything that I'm expecting her engagements throughout the year to concentrate on her early years project. This is something she's going to be working on for many, many years, and I think we're going to see her. If we see her talking or making speeches or attending engagements, I think they're going to be very early years focused.
It's kind of cherry picking those major things that she cares about and that she can maintain the work of, but probably not just throwing herself into too many new projects or things where she may not necessarily need to take part this year.
It's a positive start to the year, isn't it?
It is.
William's
I'm excited.
tweet and the Princess of Wales gradual return. We had a bit of optimism.